Today's kickoff post is a long time coming. This fabric I've had in my stash for about 11 years, which is crazy. That's probably the oldest fabric I have in my stash, and there's a good reason for it. Well, I don't know if there's a good reason for it, but there is a reason for it. So I've had this fabric for this long because when my cousin Lisa's oldest daughter was born, I wasn't quilting yet, and then I came across this super cute fabric that instead of making something for her then when she was little, I said, okay, if your next one's a girl, then I'm going to use this fabric and make this quilt. So I bought a whole bunch of it. I think I have probably about 3 yards of each one. And spoiler alert, she didn't have a girl again for another 12 years. So this fabric's been hanging out for a while, but it's super cute. And since my sister is having a girl and I haven't made her a quilt yet, this will probably end up going to her. So I'll show you the fabric first, and then I'll show you the pattern that I decided on. One of the patterns, because I've got 3 yards of this fabric, at least. I'm sure it'll get used a lot. Here's my fabric. I've got these stored on comic book boards because it's a lot of yardage, and at one point I went through and did all that with my fabric, and it's been a great storage system because then it fits on my shelf. That's this cabinet right here. It fits on there just nicely, and you can see everything from the side, and it's like having some little mini bolts. So these are all coordinates that I got from Joann's 11 some odd years ago, and they were just too cute to pass up. So I'll start from the prints. Like, look at this. So these little purple kitties, all jumping rope and hopscotching and everything. These stripes are super cute. And I think this is either Daisy Kingdom or Daisy Kingdom adjacent. I'm sure it says on the selvage. Look at this. Look how cute those kitties are. Some little hearts. And I know my mom bought some of this too at the time. I wonder if she has a different print than me. I should investigate that in case I need more. These little jacks and balls. And then this one here. So with these prints, I might bring in another blender or two. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm going to do the Villa Rosa Cherish pattern. And the funny thing is, somebody at the shop this past week shopped for this same quilt pattern with Dr. Seuss fabric. It was so cute, and I wish I had Dr. Seuss fabric to do it in because it was so cute. So cute. I love Dr. Seuss fabric. So they shopped for this same pattern, and I was like, okay, this is like a sign that I need to do this for something. So I've decided that this is going to be these fabrics. But I need 6 fat quarters plus the theme. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And I haven't, so I need 2 more because I haven't decided whether to do the theme, which is that completely horizontal stripe in the little kitties or the big kitties. I might have to measure out to see what the size of the strip is, the width of it, and which of these two will be the best option for that without losing too much. Like, these kitties are pretty good sized. I would hate to lose like little ears or something, which might mean that this would be a good accent, and then depending on the size of it, this might be good to work into the backing somehow, because it's kind of tossed, so I could do like a solid and then a strip of this on the back and then more on the bottom in case I long arm it. I mean, let's be real, I'll probably long arm it. It's been a while since I hung out with a long arm. So those are my fabrics, and I think I may look for like a light yellow to go with them, because there's a lot of pink and purple in here. Maybe a yellow and maybe like a cream color. I don't know. We'll see what sparks my fancy. So there it is, the Villa Rosa Cherish pattern. And now we're going to get to cutting. patterns at that point, and so I still needed to get a 6th one. And then on top of that, I had some chunks out of some pieces, so I needed to get some filler anyway, which I thought was a good idea because I would be bringing in one tonal fabric in contrast to all these prints. So while I was at the shop yesterday, I picked up a yellow to bring in, as well as these 2 moonscape dots to add some extra in there. So then these will kind of scatter throughout, and this will be the one that I use consistently throughout as a full additional one. And then since I wasn't sure who was going to end up with this or what, I decided to go with a Kona backing because I'm going to quilt this on, just use a walking foot. So it's Kona wood rose as the backing. So I'll be, once I get this quilt top all done, I'll be spray basting again. We'll see if I successfully do a 2nd round of wall spray basting and then do some walking foot quilting. So next step, cutting these up and then getting a layout done. Saturday. I've worked, I've quilted, I've eaten in and out, and now it's time to get my rows all put together. So let's see how one row goes. Well, there's our first row and a Roscoe. Now I'm going to make 3 more rows, but only 1 Roscoe. I've got all my 4 piece rows, and the cool thing is, because of how the blocks are made, none of those seams had to be lined up, and now that I'm putting pieces in here, none of those seams have to line up. So now I've got to check my width of my rows and then insert my 3 accent fabrics. And then this quilt top's done. Top's all done, and it went together super quick. I think making the layout took even longer because I had to figure out where to space everything, but now it just means I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do my quilting, which will probably just be some straight line walking foot horizontally every so often, but it looks super cute. So cute.